confirmed number of cases of the coronavirus in Los Angeles County today comes to 48,700. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 2,195. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 358, with total confirmed deaths at 45. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Nona Melkonian, filling in for Jin Chun. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 27th. The Torrance City Council members held a special meeting last night. More than a dozen callers shared comments during the virtual meeting, many asking for the councils to help for businesses to open faster than the county is currently allowing. Equally concerned residents on the other side of the argument also called in, asking for the council not to rush the reopening of the city and to wait until data and metrics are met before fully reopening again. After hearing from the community, council members each shared how they felt about the situation, all sympathetic to the business owners who are struggling as they wait to reopen. Mayor Patrick Fury said reopening must be done mindfully and responsibly. He also noted that the community's efforts so far have not gone unnoticed and encouraged people to continue to do their part by wearing face coverings, washing their hands, social distancing, and staying home to continue to reduce the spread of COVID-19. After nearly 2 hours of discussion, Mayor Fury called for a motion and council voted to support the state's new guidelines recently announced earlier in the day, as well as the county's revised safer-at-home order also released just hours before the meeting, which allows for more businesses to reopen. Councilman Chen also added that the city will continue to encourage the state and county to open additional businesses like restaurants that can offer dine-in service and more service-related businesses like hair salons and barbershops as soon as possible. The City Council will meet on Tuesday, June 2nd at 7 p.m. for their regularly scheduled virtual meeting. The Los Angeles County's safer-at-home order was revised last night, allowing for more businesses to reopen and re-enter the economy. This announcement came after California Governor gave the green light for in-store shopping and places of worship to reopen. The modifications to the public health order include faith-based organizations like churches, synagogues, and mosques to resume in-person service, but limited to 25% of the building's capacity, or no more than 100 people, whichever is less. Organizations are encouraged to continue to offer virtual services if at all possible. All retailers, including those located in indoor and outdoor retailer shopping centers, can now open for business at 50% capacity with safety protocols in place. Flea markets, swap meets, and drive-in movie theaters can also resume operations, as well as pools and hot tubs, which are now okay to reopen in multi-unit residences. Again, safety protocols and measures must be put in place before moving forward with reopening. The public order emphasizes that physical distancing requirements, cloth face coverings, and other safety protocols must be observed as the county continues in the recovery process. Several Los Angeles County supervisors are pushing ahead to help cities in their districts try and reopen faster than the county is currently allowing. Janice Hahn, along with Catherine Barger, who co-authored a motion, announced this county has met necessary criteria and will apply for a variance with the state today. If granted, the variance would allow LA County to move further into Stage 2 and into Stage 3 in the state's roadmap to recovery. This includes reopening in-person dine-in and personal care businesses like hair salons and barber shops. Barger said regional data shows we have flattened the curve, indicating our readiness to move forward in phased recovery. Torrance Mayor Patrick Fury called into the Board of Supervisors meeting Tuesday morning, urging the board to support reopening retailer shops, saying, quote, "We all believe we are different and distinct, and for those reasons, we believe we are best to open up our cities as much as possible." All retailers across Los Angeles County can now move from curbside to in-store shopping, but it won't be business as usual. Stores will have to adopt the county's COVID-19 safety protocols laid out in the 13-page document released last night by the Los Angeles County Public Health Office. The county's Public Health Director, Barbara Fair, must sign off on reopening plans as well. Now, with retailers have the green light, it doesn't necessarily mean they will be open right away. Certain protocols must be in place to ensure shoppers and employees are protected. Measures like clearly designated entrance and exit points, installing barriers to minimize exposing between cashiers and customers. There's also measures for infection control that must be followed, from ensuring the HVAC system is in good working order and ventilation is increased throughout the store. Common areas will need to be frequently disinfected and ensure that hand sanitizer, tissues, and trash cans are readily available to the public. Checkout lines must show 6 feet apart distance between customers standing in line. Employee restrooms should not be available for customer use, and break rooms and common areas must be reconfigured to limit employees from gathering. The City of Torrance Community Development Department is excited to reopen its permit center to the public again beginning tomorrow. Throughout the week, sneeze guard shields were installed at all counters. Public information signs were printed and installed as well. The permit center also offers remote check-in for customers. And to ensure public health continues to practice social distancing, slip-resistant floor decals have been put in place at both inside and outside the permit center. With the county's revised health order allowing all retailers to open for in-store shopping, as well as flea markets, swap meets, and drive-in movie theaters, the city has been busy reaching out to the local community, offering assistance to ensure they're ready to rejoin the economy. Along with many places of worship, Torrance's shopping destination Del Amo Fashion Center is also working to open to the public later this week. Downtown Torrance retailers and several dozen businesses who operate a retail shop continue to submit plans for reopening. Here in the city, the Economic Development Department has been on the forefront of helping the businesses and the community to ensure they thrive and succeed throughout the reopening phases. And joining us is Fran Fulton from the city's Office of Economic Development to give us some insight as to how the city is continuing to support businesses, as well as what measures businesses are working on to get their doors open as soon as possible. Hi, Fran. It's nice to see you again. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. Thanks a lot for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know we've been working closely when we were doing the Common Sense show, and now that our show's on hiatus, things are a little slower over here, but I understand you're busier than ever.
Yes, we are. It's good to see you again, too, Nona.
How are things going? I know you've been getting calls from all different parts of the city as well as local businesses since the new health order was revised as well.
We have. It seems like every week there is new information, and so we have to go through it and decipher it and then disseminate it out to our business community. And we know people have lots of questions. We're getting those questions every day via phone call and email and text message. So we're trying to do what we can to get everybody back open and up and running as quickly as possible.
Walk us through the process of what businesses need to do to get the green light to open up their retail shops.
So the City of Torrance is subject to the rules and guidelines of the county health department. Through each level of government, we have to adhere to what the county dictates. The county has to adhere to what the state dictates, and the state has to adhere to what the federal government dictates. So we've been trying to work within the guidelines of Los Angeles County and what the health department has been providing us, and trying to push forward as much as we can to be able to open sooner and safely, and looking at the types of businesses that are able to open. Our Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce and other business leaders have been very active, as well as our mayor and city council members, in communicating with county leaders and state leaders as well, really trying to push for the opportunity for Torrance businesses to be able to open. So as we do that, then we look to the science and the guidelines from medical professionals as far as what the various protocols are for the types of businesses as we're given the green light for them to open.
And speaking of guidelines, the city also offered a back-to-business reopening guideline the viewers can find online on the city's website. Now, that's being updated constantly with the rapid changes that occur from the state?
It is. And same with our website. We are constantly updating that, and information for business can be found at business.torranceca.gov. And all the updates as they come in relative to COVID-19, which businesses are allowed to open, which aren't, what the guidelines and protocols are that are available. We are, as you mentioned, through our community development department, our environmental and quality control officers, other city staff that are out in the field, to keep those guidelines, that back to business flyer updated, that information on our website, actually going out in the field and handing that out to businesses if they're open and when they open, to give kind of a quick down and dirty guideline of what they need to do to be able to comply.
So helpful. What are some common questions that you're getting so that business owners don't feel like they're alone in this? I imagine there's a learning experience for everyone, as we've never dealt with anything like this before.
Exactly. And that's the thing for us. We don't have all the answers either, trying to figure out what works best. A lot of the questions, of course, the main question we've been getting for weeks is, when is my business going to be able to open? When can I open? And then when they're given the green light to open, or even anticipating being able to open within the near future, what do I need to do?
What about Del Amo Fashion Center? Tell us about the city's partnership to get them open to the public by tomorrow. I'm sure there's a lot of people excited for the reopening and in-store shopping.
Yeah. Our city management has been in pretty regular contact with Simon Property Management that operates Del Amo Fashion Center. It's been interesting and actually helpful for us as well, because Simon operates many large retail centers across the country, and some of their centers have been able to open already, so they've been able to kind of learn from that experience, share some of the processes that they've gone through with that. They are very eager to be able to open our shopping center here in Torrance. We did get the green light from the county last night that indoor retail and shopping malls will be able to open. The general manager had indicated they may be able to open tomorrow, but it looks more likely that Friday they would anticipate opening. So we're really thankful for the clear lines of communication that we have with them, and are willing to support them however we can and whatever they need. Del Amo, as everyone knows, is quite a challenge with the multi-levels and multi-entry points and escalators and elevators. So looking at how you kind of monitor the numbers of people, allowing for that social distancing and following the protocols will be challenging. But I think that as long as people are respectful, wear their face coverings, keep distances, that it will be successful. And we really look forward to them all being able to be open.
Yeah, and you mentioned some challenges. I know it's not going to look like business as usual. What is the new normal for businesses and shoppers going to be looking like?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think there are a lot of mixed feelings out in the community. There are many who are cautious and maybe fearful. Maybe people who have been at home, working at home, or have had to be at home for a long time. So venturing out, other than to the grocery store, will kind of be a new thing. And there are others who are really kind of chomping at the bit and ready to go, and want to get out there. We, of course, from the city's perspective and from the Office of Economic Development, want our businesses to be successful. We want businesses to thrive. We want the mall to be successful. We want all the tenants, the stores, and the restaurants to be successful. So we want to make sure that we're doing things right and that we're guiding businesses in the right way, and that if they do have questions or challenges, that they let us know and we can help them be able to overcome those challenges as well. We know with some of the curbside pickup that's been going on, our restaurants having been able to be open for deliveries and pickup, now being able to modify, we really, again, encourage businesses to contact us, contact our office, and we can work with our community development folks with planning and building and safety, looking at the various things that might need to be put into place, markers on the floor, signage, plexiglass barriers, things like that a business may be looking at, whether they need to or required to install those types of things. Looking at facilitating outdoor dining as we look at reopening restaurants. We have a special permitting process in place for that. Our temporary parking lot permit that we've used in the past we'll be using to allow businesses to use more of their outdoor area to be able to expand.
You also mentioned offline that the Rhodium also submitted plans to reopen, and their function is twofold. They're an open-air swap meet as well as a drive-in theater that was reprised last summer. Do they have plans to bring that back? I'm sure people at home are wondering as June is just around the corner.
Yes, just as we've had conversations with the Del Amo Fashion Center management, we have had conversations with the managers of the Rhodium, and they have been very proactive in providing us proposals of how they anticipate being able to open safely. So I know they were very pleased about the notice from the county last night about both of their business models being allowed to open. So we have their proposed plans. We'll be working with planning again and building and safety and the fire department, looking at those proposals, how they match up with any guidelines that we're getting from the county health department, and hopefully help them get open pretty quickly. The drive-in seems like a good option for keeping people in their cars but still being able to get out. With the swap meets and open shopping being allowed as well, that will be interesting to see how that works. We also have heard from the downtown antique fair that happens on the last Sunday of every month. Mm-hmm. We anticipate they'll be able to restart that at the end of June. So we'll be working with them on what that looks like and how we control the flow of people and the numbers and that kind of thing. So, yeah, again, working with any and every business that has questions, that's looking for guidance, that has ideas, that wants to bounce off of us, we are open for discussion and working together to help businesses be able to reopen and to be able to operate.
And the city's permit center is also ramping up to open up tomorrow, along with working to get more public counters reopened. Tell us about the new measures that are in place and how far we are from seeing places like the library and other facilities open up.
Well, that's a good question. I do know that our permit center, the staff is actively working on outfitting that to fit our new normal. We have plexiglass shields that have been installed at the various stations in the permit center. We are targeting for that to open tomorrow. So that will be a good example of seeing how that type of operation, a public counter, will work. There are various departments that work out of that permit center. I know the library and other public counters through our community services, our parks operations, are all gearing up for when, again, we'll be given the green light from the county to be able to start those. Some of the questions we've been getting from the community are about summer programs. We still don't have an answer for those things yet, but we know everyone is eager. Where the county health department is looking at reopening things in stages so that it's not all happening at one time and everyone isn't all going out at the same time. So this slow kind of reemergence seems to make sense, and we are doing our best to comply and to relay information on all fronts as we get it. And I think with our permit center, hopefully it will set a good example of what public interfacing type of operation can look like.
Sounds good. We'll be staying tuned for more updates. Fran, thank you so much for your time. I know how valuable it is, especially with all that's happening this week and the new public health order release.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a busy time. It keeps us on our toes.
That was Fran Fulton from the city's Economic Development Office. Now, if you'd like more information, you can contact the city's Office of Economic Development at 310-618-5807 or email economicdevelopment@torranceca.gov. 11 Los Angeles County superintendents sent letters to Governor Newsom, the Los Angeles County Public Health Director, and county supervisors asking for changes to the proposed guidelines issued for reopening schools in the state. Many echoed the same sentiment that the guidelines were unattainable and unrealistic, measures that will drastically prevent the school districts from reopening in Los Angeles County. Some of the proposed guidelines include all students and adults keep 6 feet apart in classrooms, children over age 2 wear a face covering, no large gatherings or assemblies allowed, and a 14-day quarantine for an entire class of students if one positive case is identified. According to the Torrance Unified School District, once the county's Office of Education releases a return to school guide, TUSD will develop a plan for a safe return to school for the 2021 school year. Parents will also have the opportunity to offer their input on educational options for the upcoming school year as well. To learn more, go to tusd.org. A special virtual meeting is scheduled to take place tomorrow, May 28th, regarding a serious concern in the North Torrance community. The Community Services Department, along with the Torrance Police and city staff, will be online to discuss the issue of homelessness in North Torrance. The community is invited to join the webinar by registering online. Go to torranceca.gov/endtorrance meeting. You can submit questions before the meeting as well as by calling 310-618-5880 or during the Zoom meeting. They can use the Q&A feature where questions can be typed and will be answered live during the meeting. A follow-up email will be sent to all registered participants after the meeting ends with all Q&As. The meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. The California Department of Motor Vehicles announced 46 more field offices will reopen beginning tomorrow. That brings the state's total to 71 DMV locations. Field offices currently assist customers that have appointments only. No walk-ins are allowed yet and still have limited transaction capability. Appointments taken are for conditions that require for in-person visits for functioning like paying registration and for an impounded car or reinstating or revoked suspended license. The DMV has begun rescheduling prior canceled appointments and are notifying customers of their new appointment date. The DMV initially reopened 25 offices earlier this month and continues to encourage customers to use online services and its expanded virtual services. The DMV is selecting offices to reopen based on location, size, and service capacity. Employees are required to maintain physical distancing while serving customers. The 46 additional offices slated to reopen tomorrow included the Torrance location. To learn more, go to dmv.ca.gov. The iconic Greek Theater in Los Angeles, known for intimate concerts in the amphitheater, announced cancellation of its 2020 season due to COVID-19 pandemic. This will be the first time in 90 years that they have had to cancel an entire season. It is in line with the state and county's guidelines regarding the improbability of mass gatherings like concerts and large crowd events in the upcoming months. In a statement on the Greeks' website, management said they would take the time to refresh and reset, working with all of their valued partners to reschedule any previously planned events. Based on their listed calendar of events, some concerts were already rescheduled for dates as of early spring of 2021. Speaking of canceled shows, the Torrance Theater Company has been hard at work from home since they had to abruptly shut down production on opening week of The Good People. Now they're planning to bring some live theater action to viewers and fans at home with their virtual shows. TTC is currently working on a series of free online staged readings called Play at Home. Torrance Theater Company actors, directors, the technical team, as well as volunteers have given their time to recreate projects to entertain the community from the comfort of their home. These will be free to watch, and minimal production costs have been absorbed by the Friends of Torrance Theater Company. They are planning to roll out a new staged reading every 2 weeks, beginning Sunday, May 31st at 6 p.m. They're utilizing a combination of Zoom and YouTube Live to bring the performances to their online platform. The TTC staff said social distancing protocols will be practiced and licensing for the performances have been secured. You can check them out online at torrancetheatercompany.com. If you're one of thousands who won't be part of a traditional graduation ceremony due to COVID-19, we want to celebrate you and your big milestone. Congratulations to Haley Austin. She is a graduating senior at South High School and plans to attend El Camino College in the fall as she continues to work part-time. She plans to complete the nursing program at ECC, then transferred to a 4-year university in San Diego to obtain her Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. She loves working with children and would love to be a pediatric nurse someday. She enjoys traveling, cooking, playing soccer, going to the beach, and spending time with family and friends. Congratulations to Elijah Olmos. He is a graduating senior at South Bay Faith Academy. Elijah has been homeschooled since the 3rd grade and is headed to Grand Canyon University in the fall to major in computer programming. His hobbies include coding, creating, and listening to music. He sound engineers at church, enjoys family time, and intellectual conversations. Congratulations to all of our graduates, whether it's a preschool promotion or college graduation and every milestone in between. Send us your photo and let us know what school you're graduating from. We'll be sure to share it on our show. Email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share your story of how you and your friends, family, and local businesses are surviving this health crisis. We wanted to tell you about a local organization spreading goodness throughout the South Bay with random acts of kindness. They're called the Utopian Society Project. They're a nonprofit organization based in the South Bay, and since the start of the pandemic, they've delivered more than 100 meals to various first responders and medical heroes as a way to give back and show gratitude. Well, today they've treated the entire rehab therapy department at Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center to lunch, as well as some live music, bringing some joy to staff there, and they sure were grateful. They're headed back on June 1st to treat the security department at the hospital. It's organizations like this that truly show how Torrance cares. We love hearing these stories, seeing pictures and videos being sent to us, so please keep them coming so we can share your story of how Torrance cares. Email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov if you have questions or just want to share. Stay informed by signing up at torranceca.gov/Torrance alerts. Subscribe to City Cable's YouTube channel and be sure to like the city's Facebook page. That's for updates for COVID-19 today. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. as Ben McCain brings you the latest COVID-19 updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.